Hey everybody, welcome back to Jeff Also Cooks, where today we're going to be taking a look at some New York style bagels. This recipe comes courtesy of Joshua Weissman. I'll link him down below and up top, but without further ado, let's get into the video. So to get started, you are going to need 320 ml of 90° Fahrenheit water. Be sure to stare at the water while it levels out like a weirdo. That step is required. Then go ahead and add in 10 grams of active dry yeast with 20 grams of sugar. Give it a little mix up with the fork there and let it sit for 10 minutes while it blooms. While you're waiting for that, clean up the spill on the countertop and add 500 grams of bread flour to a mixing bowl with 5 grams of salt. Get your gloves on so you know you're serious. And after 10 minutes, go ahead and add that yeast mixture into the dry ingredients. Start massaging it with your hand until the shaggy dough has formed. Pour everything out onto the counter, including the excess flour, and knead for about 10 minutes, or until your dough achieves a nice smooth consistency, at which point take out a large bowl, add some oil to the bowl, and roll your dough around in it. Cover it with a damp towel and let it sit for a whole hour. I should have probably mentioned this at the start of the video, but I've never made bagels before and I wanted to see if I could do it without any experience whatsoever. So a big shout out to Joshua Weissman for making this possible. His video helped me immensely. Anyway, an hour has passed and you're going to need a very lightly floured work surface. We can see here that our dough has doubled in size, so give it a pat down to deflate it a little bit and roll it out onto your floured work surface. Cut it in half and then cut each half into 4 pieces, so you should be left with 8. Now on an unfloured work surface, you do want this to stick a little bit. You are going to flatten each piece, fold it in on itself, sort of give it a squeeze, and then roll it out into nicely shaped balls. There's a sentence I'd never thought I'd have to say again. The process of doing this is actually kind of hard to explain, but really all the action takes place between your pinky and your thumb. Just keep rolling it around in a circle until a nice ball forms. All 8 of the balls portioned, you're going to put it on a parchment-lined baking tray and cover with another wet towel for 10 minutes. That should give you enough time to start boiling some water. After 10 minutes has passed, uncover your bagels, and using your index finger and your thumb, punch a hole in the center. Be sure your fingers are floured for this, and then with your 2 index fingers in the hole, begin rolling until a nice circular bagel has formed. You want the hole to be about 1 inch thick, so to accomplish that you're going to have to go about 2 inches because this dough is really going to pull back in on itself. Repeat that 8 times and then you get to boiling your bagels. You heard me right, we're boiling these bagels. Start adding your bagels to boiling water. You don't want them to touch in the water, however. You don't want to stack them up. Boil one side for 1 minute, give it a flip, and continue to boil for another minute before you take it out. Repeat with the other half of the batch and you're good to go. Discard the water and let them chill for about 5 minutes, and then hit them with a nice egg wash. This is where you're able to add any of your toppings. I'm using everything bagel spice. You can make this yourself really easily, but I didn't do that. I just went with store-bought, honestly. Once your bagels are topped, you are going to get them in a 425-degree oven for 20 minutes. Now I'm a little nervous because these are the first bagels I've ever made in my entire life, but I am ecstatic with these results. They were absolutely delicious, light and fluffy on the inside, little chewy on the outside, absolutely delicious. But of course, no bagel is complete without the bagel accoutrements. So we're gonna slice up some red onions and start with a heavy schmear of cream cheese. Add on a good amount of capers, those red onions, 3-4 slices of smoked salmon, couple more capers, and some lettuce. Pile on a couple pieces of dill, add the top back on, and give her a slice. This, to me, is perfection. However, these are New York style bagels, and I would love to try making some Montreal style bagels. Those are a completely different beast, and arguably, they're the right kind of bagel. So if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like if you liked it. Thank you all so much for watching, but I have to go eat this in a different room.